We live in a busy world. We are always trying to work every single day. There's a word on the street that says chasing the bag. We want money. Not just money, but we want to find a living. We want to find comfortability. We want to be comfortable. We want to have enough. But what is enough? Today on Rise and Trending, we are talking about finding balance in a busy world. So before I proceed, let me interest you in some interesting stories of what the type of hobbies that people around the world have. There's this woman called Sarah Bloom. She's from Canada, and her hobby is just getting rocks and then designing them in a fashionable way. So she collects any type of smooth rock, and then she dresses them up. And then she has outfits like for every season and every event. For example, like Halloween costumes or just tiny tuxedos for weddings. And she says it's funny to see people smile when they meet a rock wearing sunglasses. Number 2, we've got Ahmed Khan, who is from Dubai. He's into photography, but the type of photography that he does is parking lot photography. So Ahmed takes photos of empty parking lots at sunrise and sunset. He loves the quiet feeling and how the lines and shadows create interesting patterns. And he says, I see beauty in places where most people don't even look. Number 3, we've got Emily Carter from Manchester. Her hobby is jar lid collecting. So Emily collects colorful jar lids from sauces, jams and pickles. She arranges them by size and color to make well art. So she says every lid tells a story. It's like a tiny piece of art that's easy to miss. Number 4, we've got Jack Reynolds, who is from Denver, USA. So Jack creates giant soap bubbles outdoors, sometimes as big as a car. He even tries to blow bubbles inside bubbles. And then he says there's nothing cooler than seeing a giant bubble float over the trees. Number 5, we've got Mei Ling from Shanghai, China. Her hobby is message bottle sending. So Mei writes short letters or poems, seals them in bottles, and sets them adrift in rivers or the ocean. She includes her email address, and sometimes people write back from far away places. And then she says it's like sending a tiny gift to the world. Number 6, we've got Liam O'Donnell, who is from Dublin, Ireland. His hobby is rainwater collecting. So Liam collects rainwater from different sources around the world. He labels each jar with the date and location. Then he says it's fun to compare rain from my garden to rain from Paris or New York. So those were some just interesting hobbies of people around the world. I hope you enjoyed, which lets me kick off to the topic that we are having today, which is finding balance in a busy world. So the bigger question we should be asking ourselves right now is, what is the meaning of balance? So balance is not about doing everything equally. It's about prioritizing what matters most. When you know what is very, very important to you, and then you set time for it, then you're trying to find balance. And also we need to realize that balance looks different for everyone based on their roles, their goals, and their values. So in your case, when you define what your roles are, your goals are, or what your values are, and then you will be able to start prioritizing what really matters most for you. So, what are some of the common challenges that we have to finding that balance? Sometimes you find yourself, you are in a particular situation where you're always saying yes to so many things. I would give an example. For example, in your workplace, you know you've got a lot of tasks on your list that you have to do, and you know that you've got a certain deadline for you to go and complete what you have or what you have to do. Instead of you just clearly saying, oh yeah, I am very busy today, I cannot be able to manage doing that, you're just saying yes, doing somebody's job, doing somebody's duties. In that particular situation, you'd find that you are going to have a lot of overload work, and then you will be missing your deadline. So you're just saying yes to so many things, even when you know that you cannot be able to find time for that. Another thing is work-life boundaries. You don't know how to separate your professional life and your personal time. When you're with your family, you're on your computer. When you are at work, you're doing something else. You're playing games maybe on your phone, meaning that you don't know how to separate certain things. Another thing is self-neglect. You always forget to prioritize your mental and physical health. You don't even know the last time you tried to have some exercise, or maybe sit down, meditate on your life, and just to find that balance in your mind. You don't even know the last time you did that. In case you're listening to this and then you are this person, here are some of the signs that you can see that I am really out of balance. Number one, you're always feeling overwhelmed or constantly stressed. Number two, lack of energy or burnout. Neglecting relationships, hobbies, and self-care. You are always frequently feeling guilty about not doing enough. Even when you are doing enough, you just feel like, oh my God, I'm not doing anything. But what are some of the practical tips that we can use to find this balance? Number one, prioritize your time. Identify your top 3 priorities for the week. We can start from here. You can use tools like calendars or to-do lists to stay organized. Or if you want, you can just put away certain types of things that allow you not to focus on your task at hand. That can be putting away your phone, or just any other gadgets or any other things that just put you out of your way. Number 2 is learning how to set boundaries. You got to learn to say no. You need to learn to set your priorities straight and say, you know what, I need to focus on this. This is what I am focusing on right now. Also try to create a work-life separation by setting specific hours for work and unplugging outside those hours. Meaning that when you are home, your work computer is shut, it's closed. Number 3 is practicing mindfulness. Take time for activities that ground you, like meditation or journaling. Write down stuff that is in your mind. This actually works. I never knew, but I actually tried it out at some point, just sitting down and writing down my thoughts. Because when you put them on paper, you can actually see where you are. And then you can also try to delegate. If you've got a lot, share your tasks with family, maybe co-workers, or just hire help if possible. So, but what is the role of that mindset? So that shift from perfectionist mindset to a growth mindset is very important. So balance doesn't mean achieving everything perfectly. It's just about adapting to the environment. So you also need to learn to celebrate small wins and progress towards anything that you've actually tried to achieve. And then the other thing is that you can try to share your personal stories of how, when you begin that journey and then you start having the conversations with people and say, oh yeah, I was in this type of situation and this is what I did. In that particular situation, what you're actually doing is that you're reminding yourself of of uh, of how you were before and how you are actually doing now. So meaning that whenever you are teaching someone something that you are learning yourself, you are actually making it to be stuck in your brain. Let's take for instance, one of the ways that you can see that, okay, I'm really out of balance is when you wake up every single morning, you go to bed, you go to work, and you come back and you find that your bed is not set. Your blankets are just anyhow. Your pillows are just anyhow. Maybe your clothes are on the floor, and then you're doing that every single day. That shows how much you are not in balance. So it is very, very much important that we get to prioritize our time, set boundaries, practice mindfulness, delegate tasks, and then make time for self-care. Some of the tools that you can use, like I said, you can try to use Google Calendar to set times for when you can do certain activities. Read books, listen to podcasts on mindfulness and balance, like the same podcast. And then you can just go to the gym. It's very important to actually do those things. So this is what I had for you on Rise and Trending, and I thank you so much for joining. Make sure to leave a like, a sub, or maybe a follow from whatever streaming platforms that you're actually listening from. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.